Hello, it's Kathy and Rosie Vesperina. Today we're just doing a very quick ride down to the shops, or the local petrol station actually, just to use the ATM, the automatic teller machine, to get some money out. I have done a couple of things a little bit different for this little ride. The camera is set up as it was last time on the clamp and clamped to the top half of my jacket. I'm still not sure that that's the best way to mount it, so next time I might use that DJI clamp and just clamp it to my helmet, which I think is what it's meant to be used like. I just was unsure about wearing it that way. I didn't attach the microphone either. I'm doing this separately, just because I haven't determined the best way to mount that in the helmet either. We're going to turn right at this roundabout, head down to the petrol station. You'll see I'm still a little bit wobbly when I'm going around roundabouts, but that's okay. I'm still a learner, so it all takes a bit of time and a bit of practice. You'll notice that on the dashboard the lights are flashing a little bit, and I think that's potentially because I've changed the settings. I am shooting this in D-Log instead of just the standard, and I'm shooting it at 24 frames per second, and that might be why I've got that flashing on the lights. I'm not sure. The other settings for D-Log are minus 0.3 EV, and I also have the sharpness and the noise, I think, at -1. I've got the ISO set between 100 and I think 800. So just editing those, it takes a little bit more time because you've got to obviously convert the footage, and then I've put another sort of creative LUT over the top of it, which are they're both DJI LUTs. So I'm just going to see whether I like this or not, or whether I prefer the standard. So we've arrived here at the petrol station, and I'm just going to pop in and get some money out of the ATM. Generally, I think the rules are that you are meant to take your helmet off before you go into petrol stations here in Australia. I didn't take my helmet off because I was just going to the ATM, and I think the purpose of taking the helmets off obviously is because there's concern that you might be there to rob the ATM at the bank or the petrol station. So there's a better shot of Rosie. She's got a big L plate on the front as well as on the back. Legally, you're only required to have in New South Wales a L plate on the back, but I like one on the front as well, just so everybody knows I could be a little bit wobbly. I'm just walking Rosie back a little bit here so I can turn around and head out the opposite exit from the petrol station. The intersection up here on the right can be a little bit hairy. Sorry, it's the roundabout, but this is just a little bit to the side of that, so it was quite easy to get up. So we're heading back along Mann Street, which is one of the main streets that runs through the Gosford area. Plenty of car yards along here if you want to buy a car. Not too much traffic on the road, which is nice. I always get a little bit worried going up a bit of a hill. You can't see how much of a hill this is, but I always worry that Rosie won't make it up the hill, but she did fine on this one, which is great. And we're going to turn left just up over the crest of this little hill back towards home. A little check of the mirrors in the back just to make sure no one's going to ram up my backside. And on the other side of this little crest is a little bit of a steep down, so we're reaching the crest just after this intersection, and then it goes quite steeply down. But I don't think the video shows just how steep that is, because I don't have any throttle on. I'm just coasting down and holding on to the brakes as well while I'm doing that, because I feel a bit nervous, and but I'm only doing 40 kilometers an hour. And this is the same roundabout that I went around at the beginning, but obviously I'll go straight ahead to head back home again. So I'm going to try 25 frames per second. This was shot in 24 frames per second. I'll try 25 frames per second to see whether that makes any difference. I'm in Australia, and so we use the PAL system here, but I don't know whether that makes any difference to that flashing light issue. But we'll see how we go. Heading up past the private hospital on our right, and some medical offices on our right as well. Straight ahead is a big reserve. You can ride up into it, but you can't obviously go around the tracks. So in we go and back home again. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.